Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
Elevation. Elevation.
Elevation who?
Elevation. 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 Elevation.
Always remember to always elevate to your next level. Never allow anybody to make you feel less than, unworthy, or anything else. Always remember to elevate because you're an elevation of the room. Hello. Welcome to the I Am Virtual Book Tour. I definitely want to say welcome, and happy Equal Quality Month to all of us out there that work so hard to be where we are now. Today, our special guest, Veronica Simon, is in the building to come and bring y'all some awesome promotion information. But first, I'm going to read her bio. Veronica Simon is a 6-time international best-selling author, an independent IT portfolio program consultant, an entrepreneur of coaching and consulting service, mother of 4, founder of a certified 501c3 nonprofit organization that has a positive impact on women, to include homeless, unwed, and teenage moms over the years. She's a ridiculous change agent that believes love in action is the ultimate call of duty. Meet Veronica Sims, the ethic, the empathetic, the soul engager. See, my words and tongues want to mess up today, but that's all right though. We got through it. Today, the words did not want to come out. But hi, Veronica. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Good afternoon. I am doing fantabulous. As I was telling you earlier, when she had me in the green room, I was having a hot flash. And so those of you who've experienced that, you know what that's like. So I've got this natural glow going on. It's probably from, the sweat, but it's all good.
So Veronica, could you tell people where you tuning in from?
I'm tuning in from California. I live in Temecula, California. Yes, by the wineries.
Nice. I've never been to Cali, so I wouldn't even know where that is. I might have to.
Yeah, come on. You be my guest. Come on.
So the book we are talking about today is The Soul Engagement. Now tell us, how did we get here? Now, was you always going to be a writer?
As a little girl, yes, I was always going to be a writer, but like we have many dreams as a little girl, right? Or many of us, when we're young, we dream big. We have all this stuff because we don't have anything that's holding us back. So we're dreaming these little girl dreams or young men dreams. And it's like, you know what, this is what I would love to be. This is what I want to do. And I used to be very good at writing. But then, of course, got older. And I was like, no, I don't want to write. I just want to make some money. I want to get out and I want to do my thing. I want to make money. But writing came back, right? And so then I said, you know what? I'll write for me. Oh, social media happened. Now I'm aging myself. For me, that was a brand new, of course, experience. What did they have before Facebook?
Right. What was it? It was the group chats. Used to go on the you tweets and the chats.
Yeah. I didn't do any of that because I didn't know how to do it. So
MySpace.
There you go. Did not know how to do it. Did not know how to do any of that. And so, but when Facebook came along, then it was like, okay, this seems like it's kind of easy. So I just started typing, right? I just started living out loud. And then it's like, oh, wow, this gives me an audience. And I don't necessarily have to be physically in front of anyone to share. I can just share here in my, in my home. It's comfortable. And it's almost like a gopher that comes out and then, show their head for a little while and then go back in. So it's kind of like me just like, okay, let me just put this out there. I'm coming out and then I'm going back in. And then I'm putting this out here because it feels good. I'm going back in. Right. And it didn't matter what someone said or did not say. It was because it was like a release for me. And I found actually my own freedom in that. Right. Because then it's another way of doing your freedom of speech. And for me, a person who's an empath, for me, it's kind of hard for me to be in a big group of people, like going into these big conferences and stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
have a tendency to be in the back because it helps to protect me and my spirit. As an empath, I feel a lot. I can feel the people in the room. I can feel certain energies. Certain things will pull on me. And so, in order to keep me focused, I need to be in a place where it's safeguarding me, more so not physically, but it's from a spiritual perspective, right? And it's no
Right.
disrespect to anybody else, but it's just about how I am and how I operate. That's why I like small, intimate groups whenever I go into doing my own retreats, etc. I like that because it gives me the opportunity to take my time and feel the room, feel the people in the room, and those who are pulling on me, not knowing that they're pulling, then I can really feel them and I'll know how to progress as we move along. I used to work on scripts and everything, have everything so formalized, and we're hitting this schedule, this, that, and the other. When God said, nope, not going to do that because I'm not giving him enough time. I'm not giving the Holy Spirit enough time to move in the room. So, therefore, now when I walked into a room of the retreats that I host, it's pretty much just flying by the seat of our pants. And honestly, it's about going along with what the Spirit has in play, right? So, we're following the Holy Spirit's lead when we're there. And everybody drops their titles at the door because I don't care who you are or what title that you have. We're all the same when we get into that room. We're coming there for the same reasons. And it's pretty much about diving into ourselves and being able to experience our own personal freedom and tapping into our own power in which we all have because we were born with it. You asked,
Absolutely.
you asked the question, I kind of went around it. You said, how do we get to soul engagement? Well, soul engagement was something that I needed personally. I needed to be able to find my own personal freedom and power, right? So when you're coming up in a household where everything has pretty much been structured, which was great during those times, but as you get older and you're on your own and you're trying to go, okay, well, who do I need now to validate me? Who do I need to kind of safeguard me, to tell me what to do? And then God is like, no, that's what you got me for. And that's why we're supposed to have our own personal relationship with Christ. Everybody is not a believer. I get that, understand that. But for me, I am. I still am. Right. And so for that, I knew that I needed to tap inward. And so that's how soul engagement came about. Soul engagement was birthed out of what I needed. Most of what I do is birthed out of what I need first. I test it out on me first before I open it up to anyone else to say, hey, what do you need? Because I need to help me before I can help you with anything,
Right.
right? I want to be exactly that living testimony to help show or be the path or show the path, the light. I want to be that light to say, okay, you can do this. So I had a small group that I formalized on Facebook. So that's why I love
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, right? A small private group. And those were called my soul sisters. They submitted an application, they submitted an entry to why they want to be a part of my group. Because at that point, I was just trying to figure it out. I wanted to see if there were other people out there like me. And if you were really trying to engage your soul, many of us are not engaging our soul, right?
Right.
What we're doing, we're getting with other people and we're listening. We're going, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good for me. But how do you really know
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know you?
Right.
It's easy to be led by something if you're all over the place, but you really don't know you, right? It's like, oh, that sounds good. I want to be a part of that. I sound good. I want to be a part of that as well. But then you get so much going on, and now you got a whole bunch of busyness, and you can't focus on the calling that's really on your life because now you're thinking everything that's coming out you got to be a part of, and you shouldn't, right? Because there are certain things that God has put in your path for you to honestly be a part of. But then there are other things that He's allowed in your path to test you to see if you can still stay focused. That's why some of us, we need to put our blinders on,
Right.
right? That way we can stay focused on what we're here to fulfill and not all over the place, because then you become scattered and you won't accomplish anything and you get frustrated. That was me. I was becoming scattered, miss all over the place. I love, love, love helping other people. I love investing as well. That's just who I am. I'm a giver. But as a giver, sometimes you can overdo it to the point where you give everybody else, you don't give to yourself. You don't have nothing else left for yourself. And then you're sitting and you're going, well, you know what? All that I've given out will certainly be returned. right? They're not
Right.
going to forget about me. Not always the case, because honestly, when we give, we should give of the notion of not expecting anything in return. It may
Right.
come from somebody else, but we're human. So don't forget your human state as well. You will go through the process, nothing wrong with that, but you got to get on top of that. And the only way to really do that, or how I've found to do that, is to become soul engaged. I really needed to focus on me. I really need to zero in on the relationship that I have with Christ, not what the pastor has with Christ. And then he's, giving me the sermon. No, I needed it for myself. Because how many of us are truly, when we're going to church, are taking the notes, not what the pastor is saying, but we're taking the notes as we hear what the Holy Spirit is saying, right? A lot of times we're doing word for word. Okay, pastor said blah, 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 blah. But what did the Holy Spirit say to you? How did you get that message? What did that mean for you? Regurgitate that back. Let me see your notes and how you just wrote down what the pastor said, but the pastor actually did not say, but your spirit was saying this, because that's how you heard it and understood it for you. We can all hear the same thing from a person, but the message can be different for you.
Right.
The only way you're going to realize that is if you do have that personal relationship and if you are in touch with you. Remember, we were born fully equipped, lacking absolutely nothing, right?
Right.
But many of us don't operate that way because we're always looking for somebody else to, confirm us or to say, yeah, this is what you should be doing. But did we go to him first? Did we ask him, should I be participating in this project? Should I be doing this? No, I know so and so, good person. I'm going to jump into this. Not saying it's a bad thing. Not saying that it's always going to be a good thing either. It's really about what you're focused on and what he's called you to. And are you really so engaged?
Absolutely. So, with Soul Engaged, what did you realize about yourself writing that book?
Whew. I realized that I had a lot more growing to do. Because in the book, what I tell people in the very beginning is that you really need to set up yourself similar to, like, what was it called? The Closet. I think that was the movie. But I asked people to set up a little space in their home where it's just them. It's just you and the Lord and no one else. Take yourself a journal in that room, that space. That's your private space. That's your soul space. Okay. That's where only you and him are communing. And you just talk. People are like, well, how am I supposed to talk to the Lord? What kind of language do I speak? The same one you speak to people with. There is no space. Honestly, we do too much.
Right.
Keep it simple. He's simple. His word is really simple. Some of us try to I don't know, educate it or whatever, and then it becomes so complex and then people become confused. No, keep it very simple. Streamline it to you. Go into that space and then just start talking. Just let loose. Stop trying to keep things from coming out that need to come out. I had a lot of hurt and stuff in my life that I needed to get rid of. And because the way other people may have looked at me, I didn't want to showcase that out in public. So I needed to deal with that internally. It wasn't helping me to a degree, right? So I was like, okay, so this is not working. And even if I went and talked to somebody, it just felt like, okay, this is still not working. So then it was like, hey, Lord, let me do more talking to you. And then that's when it started happening for me. Things started unfolding. The path was right there. The lights were coming on. And it's like, okay, this is what I need to do. This is the path that I should be on. This is how I'm to progress. That's how I got my download. But it was me being by myself with him in my specialized room that was just for us. Now, what happens if you don't have a room? Make yourself a corner. I've got a corner in my office. And in my last house I lived in, I had my office in that corner. And that corner in my office was where I went to sit down and commune with the Lord. My kids could not come in. The dog couldn't come in. Hubby couldn't come in. That space was my sacred space. And that's what I advise other people to do. Get into that position where you can have that room where you can socialize between yourself and him. Many of us, we really don't take the time to find out who we are because we've tried so hard to hide the ugliness that we don't want other people to see and things we don't want to remember. But those things that you have packed down, they're going to eventually show back up. So you're going to want to get them unpacked, resolved, and release them and let them go. It's not saying that you got to go out and, come back somebody or anything like that, but it's about you getting the personal release that you need for yourself. I needed to do that. This book is more of a journal type deal for me. I did this book along with journaling. The ladies who participated in the Soul Sisters group with me, I personally picked out a journal for them according to the letters they wrote to me in order to be a part of the program as I was building it out. I sent it to them and the pen. They didn't anything they needed. I sent it so there would not be an excuse why they could not
Right.
participate, right? Because you wrote in, I only had 12 ladies that I was going to accept into that, right? And then we did this on a daily basis, and then we went to a week. They were on it because I needed to see how this was going to work for them
Mm-hmm.
and how it was working for me. So we worked in unison together.
That is so awesome. And to say that it was 12, sometimes that's deep, because a lot of times people are so afraid to soul search and understand who they are. So to get 12 women to feel that vulnerable and they actually did the work is awesome. I definitely commend you for that. Now, during this process, you said you had to learn that, you had growth. What was one of the growth things that you feel that you have successfully moved forward to now since then?
Believing more in myself,
Okay.
believing more in myself, believing in the power that he placed within me, not having to go out and get anyone else to validate me
Right.
any longer, trusting what he placed in me and moving forward with that. Sometimes I would feel that I'm a couple of steps ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get around other people and I go, okay, let me just keep my mouth shut, right? Because I don't want to come off wrong or I don't want anyone to take it the wrong way. I'm very sensitive to other people's feelings and sometimes probably more than I should be, because then it becomes a hindrance for me not speaking my truth or what God has placed in me to say. And I go, okay, you know what? They got it. Let me just back off and not say it because this is not my platform. This is their
Right.
platform, whatever. So I try to be very cautious, but sometimes we can be too cautious that we miss the opportunity to do exactly, or we're being disobedient and not doing what God has told us to do. And it may somehow hinder the person who may have set the platform in place,
Right.
right? And God is saying, well, the reason why you're apart is because of this is what you bring to the table. Why didn't you do this when I told you?
Mm.
Okay. Like, oh, well, I don't want to be of offense. So I'll just back up and get into the background. And I'm normally like that. If it's not something that I'm running, I have a tendency that I will go in the background. But I've learned that I have to stop trying to be in the dark or in the
Stop.
back.
Stop trying to dim your light.
Yeah, stop getting back. And I've gotten spanked over that a couple of times by some people. Um, and I hear it and I try, and then it's that part of me where, and I'm still learning, right? So I'm still growing. Listen, I've done this book myself after it's been written several times, right? And I'm always learning something new because we're always going to be in a position to learn, right? Well, we
Absolutely.
should be. Let me take that back. We should be in a position where we're always looking to, up ourselves, level up, because you're not going to know everything. I don't care who
Right.
you are, and no one is perfect. So you need to be able to put yourself in a position where you can continuously learn. And so for me, that's what this book has been taking me through. So the process of trusting the him that's in me, right? Being okay with my voice because sometimes I didn't like the way I sound. So when
Wow.
somebody said, "Hey, I want you to do an interview," I'm like, but I got no, but I got somebody else who can do it because I like the way they sound. I like their voice maybe better than I like my voice. Sometimes my voice can be very raspy. Um, I've got that little southern drawl on occasions. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, let's let somebody else do it. But I'll
Right.
help write out what they're, if they ask me, then I'll help them write it out. So you are testing me at this point to even be here live because this means
Oh,
I
see,
do
look
editing
at here, look
before
at
we're
here. Well, I'm happy that I am the tester and I got you out because normally, like you said, you don't come out. So we got you out and spotlighted.
Yes, you do.
We're doing that soul engagement.
And I love it. And thank you for, you know what? Thank you for that because I do need to do more. I do need to come out more. I've been trying, and then I allow myself to get distracted with other things,
Right.
that I go, oh, this is great, great causes. I want to be a part of this. Let me do this. Let me do that
Right.
because, I'm good out in corporate. But when it comes to like the private sector, doing stuff outside of what I do from corporate America is totally
Mhm.
different, right? Because then it feels like, OMG, I'm on my own. Wow, this is like,
Right.
whew, this can be scary.
And that's kind of what the power in the voice is. We're here to give you a voice and be able for you to stand on your 2 feet to embrace who you are. So I am happy to be the one to do it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you.
So for viewers out there, that don't know how to get your book and, where else they can find it, tell them how they can get soul engagement and tell them a little bit more about soul engagement and what is one key factor you want them to get from soul engagement.
Okay. So let me start with the first. Let me start with your last question first. What is the key factor that I want people to be able to get out of soul engagement? The key factor I want you to get out of soul engagement is that you are empowered. You are over your own personal freedom and power, right? So you have to be engaged. You have to be able to engage yourself personally, not asking everybody or anybody. I don't care who they are and what title they possess. Okay. It's about you. You have to be able to tap into you. Most of us, if we're honest, we're not comfortable with ourselves by ourselves. Okay. You need to be able to get in a room by yourself and be okay with you. And if you're not, do the work. That's what the book is about. It's about you doing the work with you. It doesn't say, hey, invite a whole bunch of people over and let's get together and do this thing together. No, honestly, this one is about you doing it alone, right? You have to be able to know who you are, engage yourself internally so that when you encounter other people and someone tries to tell you who you are and you know in your spirit that's not who you are, even though you have respect for them, then you can tell them exactly who you are with respect and get them to see it as well versus trying to forecast on maybe what they need you to be for them. A lot of us are giving away our birthrights, not
Mm.
realizing it. That's what this is about. Find yourself so you can be yourself, your true self, your authentic self. That's what I want you to get out of soul engagement. How do you get it? Soul Engagement is on Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com. If you have an account, if you don't make one, it's on there. Look for Soul Engagement. And right now, the way that it's set up, I don't get any money off of Soul Engagement. And people go, well, why aren't you marketing? I just feel I've always done word of mouth. People just find out about it. You know, I'm not one to flash a lot of stuff. That's just not me. That's not who I am. Now, do I need to do more marketing? Yeah, I probably should, right? That's how people get products, etc. But for me, it's personal because I'm giving you, and I'm trying not to cry. I'm giving you so much of me in this. This was raw. A lot of it, most of it, all of it. Let me be honest. All of it is me in a book. And I'm taking you through the phases and stuff that I went through, the things that got me through. So what you're doing is getting some of Veronica. And like I told Kathy Kidd, who helped me publish this book, she's the lady that I met at the conference. She's the one who was like, you know what, get this book out. You need to get it out. And I had it written. I wrote it all on Facebook. So
Right.
you already had the chapters and everything out there. It was just a matter of pulling it out. And my Papa Bear, Pastor Wendell, he was like, Baby Bear, all your content is already on Facebook. Put it in the book. And so I downloaded it and then I structured it with the help of Kathy Kidd and I got it out there. And it became a bestseller. And let me tell you, she kept on me, Veronica, go out and start talking to people about it. And I'm like,
Mm.
that's If you get the book, you get the book. But I'm not coming out the top. That's a little bit more than I was comfortable with.
Right.
Because you're talking about me filleting myself, putting myself out there, being all open. And I was like, yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that. I'm not sure. Being the wife of a pastor and etc. It was just like, yeah, let's just, if people find it, they find it. How about that type deal? But now I'm feeling better about myself. I'm, confident about this book. I like it. I've gotten great feedback from it. And I even have people that are in Cambodia, young ladies that, I sent the book to. They wanted a copy of the book. And with the mentoring program that I'm a part of with Ravens International, Hope International, we've used some of the content out of the book, to help them to see themselves, as a light, because we all are light.
Which we are, and it's awesome that that you're mentoring people in a whole nother country. Like, that's just awesome in itself right there. And I'm gonna commend you for stepping out and being able to share your raw truth, because not many of us is able to show that rawness of ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you, I know that you really don't like sharing, or how I say, stepping into the light, but a lot of people need to hear that soul engagement and to understand why you created that book and what made you take that walk and how did you get to your purpose. There's someone attached to the story that you have to deliver. So
Yeah.
with you not stepping out there, you're not giving the people to be attached to you that needs to be attached to that story. So
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you, go on out there and push that book.
I like that. But let me say this. So what I've done, I've ordered a lot of books for myself, right? Um, and then I send the books to different places. Okay, somebody says, "Hey, I got this group. I want to be able to, donate books, blah 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 blah." Okay, cool. I'm on it, right? So I'll pack up some books and I'll send it to me. Again, that's the giving side of me, right? That's the giving side of me. Now I have another young lady that is working with me on my nonprofit that I have, because I'm repositioning it from Atlanta to Cali. Since I don't live in Atlanta anymore, I needed to do some shifting, because as the founder, it's going to be now based out of California. I will have roots, because I still have roots there in Georgia and South Carolina, in which my board members are there as well. So with that, it's like, okay, let's do a shift. So going forward, once we get things restructured, any books that I sell, anything that I get from those books, they will automatically go to the nonprofit. And that nonprofit, what it will do is to help be able to sponsor ladies who can't afford to come to a retreat that I may host. It will help to get them to that retreat so that they can be in the room, right? Because it's all about being in the room. And I challenge you, right? It's about being in the room and being challenged. And it all starts with this. Right? It's starting with you becoming soul engaged. And by the end of our time together, you will then be not just a person who's been soul engaged, but you will pick up and be a soul runner. And see, soul runner is what we're going to talk about next week.
Next Sunday. Right. Yes. So leave the people with one positive thing that you feel that you want to leave them with till next Sunday, and then tell them how to connect with you and how to, contact you if they want to book you for anything.
Okay. The one positive thing that I would like to leave you with today is that you are enough, and you have already been qualified for what you are here to fulfill. It's a part of your DNA. It's a part of your destiny. Now, how do you get in touch with me? You can get in touch with me on Facebook. Look under Veronica Simon. I'll post it after this broadcast. You can also reach out to me. I'll send you the email link that you can also do that with. But honestly, to really contact me, Facebook is the best way. I respond rapidly to that because it comes automatically to my phone. If you want to get the book, again, go out to Amazon.com and just look for Soul Engagement or look for me. There'll be several books that may pop up underneath my name, but the one that you want to get is this fly picture. I don't know if you can see it because of the glare. Oh, there you go. Okay, that's better. This is one of my best pictures. Okay, but anyway, that's how you can reach me. And of course, if I can ever assist with anything, feel free to contact me to come and speak at a conference or an event. I don't mind traveling. Actually, I love that part. Or just have a conversation virtually. That's also good because, as you've stated, Juanita, it's about getting myself out there and doing more. And I really want to help the ladies that are probably in hiding and not realize that they're hiding to come out and share your gift with everybody else, right? There's somebody looking for your authenticity. There's someone looking for you to show up and be exactly who you are, not what other people want you to be, but who you actually are, so that they can engage with you. They'll know it, and they'll know the depths of your truth once they engage you via your soul and not just your outer appearance and what you say. We're all wordy and we can say a lot of things, but just because you say it doesn't mean that you mean it. But if I can feel it from the soul, and especially because I'm an empath, then I'll know that you're true. But if I don't feel it, then I'm going to back off and just wait until you're ready to show up.
That was the bomb. Thank you, Veronica Simon, for being here, for blessing us, for coming out of your shell. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you, guys. You have just had the privilege. See, words don't want to come out today. Privilege to get to talk to Veronica Simmons. Make sure y'all reach out to her. Make sure y'all contact her. Make sure y'all go get that book so we can help support ladies that can't get to her retreat to become able to get the things that they need to get to. Be able to get their soul engagement and be able to become a soul runner, like she said, that we'll talk about next Sunday.
Yes.
I have been your host, Sheena Goodine. Thank you for tuning into the I Am Book Tour. We will be back again this week on the 22nd. So tune in, see who the guests will be, see who's coming through, see who's dropping in. Like I said, it's in the preview that came up, it's all week plus till the 30th, and it might be a couple people in September. So come on through, come visit us, come check us out, and make sure you follow them. They have awesome things to deliver, awesome things to share. There's no reason you should not find the things that you need to find. And if you're lost, there's someone out there to help you. I thank you, and remember that you are the one and you hold the power. Thank you for tuning into the I Am Virtual Tour. Thank you again, Veronica, for coming through, and we'll be happy to see you again next Sunday. Be ready. Everyone have a good day, and I thank you.
Introducing to some and reintroducing to others. Speaker, entrepreneur, motivational coach, and author, Sheena Goodine. If you wish to contact her, you can contact her via email at sgoodine16@gmail.com, or you can visit her website, www.theladybehindthemask.com.